Hey, Erwin, how you doing? Got Aaron in here, Nicolas, Jill. Hey guys, Santiago. Hola. Cool. Just give it a couple more minutes for everyone to join. Cool. Nice. While we're waiting, has anyone tried connecting Notion to Chipp yet? Santiago? No? Maybe Erwin, you've already tried. Nice. Let's give it one more minute for everyone to roll in. Jill, Nicolas, if you're there, give us a little wave in chat. Come say hi. Hey, Jill. Nice. Danielle. Hey, Danielle. How you doing? Jeff, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Thanks
Nice
for
one.
the tutorial video to get
Yeah.
started.
Did you give it a go? Oh, you muted.
Sorry, I'm just about halfway through. I'm just integrating it right now.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, we'll have plenty of time to play at the end. I'm gonna cover some, just like brainstorm some use cases, troubleshoot some stuff with people. I think we can get started now. Yeah, let's let everyone roll in. Nice one, guys. Turning down the music, and we're off. Fabulous. Welcome. Hey guys, familiar faces, new faces in here. Let's get this started. Cool. Lovely to meet you, new faces. I'm Serge, co-founder of Chipp. My co-founder Scott will probably join some point and say hi as well. If you're new here and you don't know what Chipp is, it's the easiest way to build, share, and sell AI assistants without writing any code. And this workshop's all about showing you how to connect Notion to your Chipp assistant. So without further ado, let's get familiar with Butter, which is like our space here for the folks who are new to Butter. On the left, you'll see the chat button. And we're just going to say hi, right in there, your name, where you're tuning in from, and what you're drinking tonight. And hit enter, let everyone know where you're at. On the tea, we've got the coffee. I'm late night coffee. I am an orange juice. Beautiful. California. Nice one, guys. Cool. And then finally, just so you can, for the folks who want to stay off of camera, we still want you guys to participate. And one way you can do that is by sending GIFs. So if you click the GIF button in the bottom right, find a GIF which represents how you feel right now, and send that in chat. This is my favorite spinning raccoon. There we go, Boogie Raccoon. Nice. Hey Dom, thanks for joining. Cool, make sure everyone's found the GIF button. And we like to keep it interactive. Nice one. Okay, awesome. Well, some of you might have received my mail already with some instructions on how to set up Notion with Chipp. But as an overview, I'm basically going to just sort of brainstorm a couple use cases and what's really possible with this integration. Can you all see my screen? I have to sort of switch over and say yes. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, thank you. Beautiful. So just at a high level, I'm just going to give you some with Notion and Chipp, why this is so important, and then we're going to spend most of the session in sort of like an open discussion and sort of play space where we can just create things, troubleshoot things, brainstorm ideas, and you're joined on the call by some awesome pro builders as well. Dominic Norton has just entered the chat, awesome pro chip builder and no code builder. So this is the place to get your questions answered about Chipp and Notion. So before we go to playtime, just want to show you quickly what's possible here. So if you know how Chipp works, you'll have found this button in our builder. So if you've never seen Chipp, this is the builder. And a big part of Chipp is being able to add different knowledge sources. So your assistants can give specific responses off of specific knowledge, not just general knowledge. So if your company has specific documents, or you've got like a Google Sheet, or you've got a YouTube video, you can tailor your responses in your AI chat to that knowledge source. So now we've unlocked Notion, which allows you guys to add your Notion pages as the source of truth that your assistant is going to use. So what does that actually unlock for you? The first thing that's going to come to mind is like internal knowledge bases. So there's actually already AI features in Notion, but this allows you sort of to recreate a lot of those where you can just speak to your internal knowledge. That could be creating a chatbot for SOPs or project details, or pulling up specific documents about employees. So one example use case here is being able to create an HR assistant bot. It can have all the company policies in it. It could also have key documentation that you need to find just all the time as an internal use case. So internal knowledge bases is a common use case. The other big one, Notion is amazing for project management. It's got beautiful Kanban boards, so why not build some project management assistants? If you give your project management dashboard or database in Notion as the knowledge source, then your assistant will always know which projects you're working on and like what stage they're at and how to assist you with moving them forwards and those kinds of things. So really simple use case there, but very powerful for any project managers that want to keep stuff on track, generate new to-dos, see what the latest to-dos are. That's going to be really, really fun. Then there's sales and CRM enablement. So for folks who need to pull up information about a certain prospect or lead, you can just go speak to your chatbot and say, well, go look at our CRM that's maybe in Notion and tell me what I need to know about this customer I'm about to have a call with. That gives them clear next steps. And you can also write emails that are personalized to that lead or that prospect straight from Notion using a Chipp assistant. And another fun one, this is what I'm working on right now for our Chipp certified consultants. So there are consultants who are getting certified on Chipp so that they can go and sell this to their clients. And I'm making a matchmaking assistant, which is basically looking at the database of all the Chipp certified consultants and then allowing the other consultants to ask questions and say like, well, who's got knowledge about Stripe, who's got knowledge about Webflow, who's got knowledge about marketing, and they're able to matchmake and then find deeper connections amongst the community. So those are just some of my use cases. And before playtime, I want to pause and open up some space for you guys. Let's do a quick waterfall. So a waterfall is where we type into the chat, but we don't send the message straight away. So on the left sidebar, let's all type like what your favorite use cases are that you're either building now or use cases that you want to explore. So start writing that in the chat now. And when I count down from 3 to 1, we'll send it all at the same time, right? So get typing. What do you want to build? What are you building? What are you excited to build with Notion and Chipp? Get that all lined up in chat. Could be more than one thing. There are many, many things to build. We'll give it another second while everyone's typing out. Scott is finally on chat. Hey, Scott. All right, let's count down from 3 to 1. And then on 1, let's send it. 3, 2, 1, hit enter. Notion as a data management for projects. Amazing. Data rooms. Memory base with persona chips. Perfect. A property notice generator for work to be done for buildings. That's wild. Jeff, can you explain a little bit more about that? Like, what are you building right there?
Oh, yeah. I made something called prop notice, and then because like in property management, I used to work in that field, and the administrators are spending 10, 15 minutes making these notices about like, hey, on Wednesday there's going to be a water shutdown because we're fixing a pipe or something. And then this one,
Right.
but it has templates built in the back end and Chip, and then it just spits out like 3 options of a draft, and then you can actually download the PDF. So it
Nice.
probably takes about 2 minutes instead of 10.
Right. So that's like custom document generation based off of your templates.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, amazing. And that's in the world, and you're using that already. Oh, like that's what you're going to build.
It's already built. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
on Chip. Yeah.
amazing. That's so cool. Cool. About Jill, what about this like personal healthcare assistant? Like, how do you manage that working? Like, why is the data in Notion, and how did it get there?
Hi. Yeah, I was just thinking I made a GPT a few months ago where um, I had a Notion page with all of my personal stuff on it, which obviously I don't speak about it. And the GPT was able to access that and then answer questions about I don't know, say I've got a recent blood test result come through and it can answer the question. This is just off the top of my head. It's because it's something I've tried already with AI and Notion, and it worked pretty well. So
Perfect. Are there any use cases that you're still curious to explore, or like one of these guys might know some more about?
no, I'm just kind of thinking through the options right now. So
Cool.
interested to see what other people are going to build with this.
Amazing. Well, yeah. Does anyone want to come off mute and just share the use case that they're excited to explore? Alfredo, I see you grinning there.
I actually I had created a fairly extensive training module in Notion and was playing around all those different tools like Kajabi and the such, and it was just the user experience was not there. And since I've started using Chip, I've started turning those into agents where they take you through different sections.
Nice.
And that's working out actually surprisingly well. So I'm wondering how those two are going to come together at this point, because I have a lot of stuff that I created in Notion that is essentially I'd abandoned, but if I can, if I can now bring those two together, that'd be exciting.
That's definitely what I've noticed is like I keep a lot of my like personal and course and business documentation, like all of Chipp's documentation is on Notion. So you can just give it new life just by putting it into an assistant and then repackaging it, reselling it. So yeah, definitely loads of potential there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else want to share a use case they're excited to build or have been building?
What I want to build is I work a lot with Glide, and I made a tour app for the band of my children. So all the information is in there, and it would help me now to spend some more time in Notion, because I think in Notion I could do something like that, and then of course on top of that you would have the agent. You can ask your questions. Where are we going to today, or what do we need to do tomorrow? Or what time do we need to be at the venue and stuff like that?
Right. Yeah, that feels like it's kind of parallel to the project management stuff as well. Like tours, projects, anything that's got like deadlines, everyone can just get on the same page real quick. So that's so cool. Nice, guys. There's such a broad range of use cases there. I'm going to quickly demo like how I set this up in case you've missed the video. Like maybe let's just do in chat raise of hands, like say yes or no if you've seen the tutorial video that I sent out already, and that gives me a sense of like how much depth I should go into. Yeah, Danielle's seen it. Nope, Alfredo's not seen it. Okay, cool. Like I'll just give you the quick rundown here then, and then we can use that to go into playtime. So I'll go to Chip. Just show us, Scott. Show us the thing. All right, cool. End to end. How did I set this up? So, Wolfpack music keeps showing up. There we go. Let's get rid of that. So here I am in the builder of Chip. I've created a new app, and what I'm doing is the real trick of this is getting your secret key from Notion. So it's not just about going into the new knowledge source and clicking Notion. It's going to ask you for an integration secret. So the first question is, where do I get that? We've left a little link for you to the documentation so you can go and follow Notion's documentation, but I'll just skim through this real quick. What you're going to need to do is go over to Notion, and for any of the pages that you want access to, you're going to need to create an integration that connects to it. So here, let's say I want to get access to this how to sell AI 5-day email course. So this is my knowledge source, and I'm going to build an assistant that is like a course assistant for this course. It's got all my course content in here with some subpages and some extra stuff. And what I need to do is go to the 3 dots in the top right. You can follow along, maybe like put me on one side and Notion on the other side, maybe, and click connections. So that's, not many people know where that is. That's just like a little hidden thing. Then go to manage connections. And then this is also deceiving. You want to then click develop or manage integrations, which is this second button there. It's going to open up this little modal. And this is where you get to create new integrations to Notion. So I'm just going to create a new integration. I'm going to call it the 5-day how to sell AI 5-day course app. And then I need to select the workspace, which is the Chipp workspace. If you want, you can add a logo. I'm just going to add a quick little logo here and hit save. Great. Now I have my key, but my key is not connected to any pages yet. So you don't just grab that straight away. We need to go and connect it to the specific pages that we want. And you can connect many pages to the key now. So if I want to connect this individual page, I'll click connections. And then in the top here, you can see that I've got my how to sell AI 5-day course key and click confirm. And if I hover over connections again, I can see that the connections in the active connections tab now, how to sell AI 5-day course. I'm just going to come back to Butter Workshop and just visual thumbs up from everyone. Like, that makes sense. We know how to find that in the right side. Cool. I will press on. Any questions there about like finding your API key and then connecting it to a page? Yeah, all good. Any questions? Nice. Cool. So that's where you find it. And now I'm just going to go back to Chipp and show you exactly what that looks like, setting that up. Nice. And then now I have my key. It's connected to one page. I'm actually, just for demo purposes, going to show you connecting this key to another page. So you can see, if you wanted to create like an extensive, if you want to create multiple pages connected to your one key, you can do that. So I'm going to go to, let's say, our Chipp template library. So this is a publicly available database of all of our templates. And we can create an assistant which helps them access all of those. I should have called this key something different, but it's on the same key for demo purposes. How to sell AI 5-day course is now the active connection here. So now I have this page, which is all of these subpages, and the how to sell AI all connected to that one key. I'm going to grab that key, come back to Chipp, and create a new assistant because that one's already connected to Chipp, to Notion. And we'll call this the template bot. So like find the best AI prompts, and let's give it a quick logo. And then I go to new source, Notion, paste the key in there, and hit search. So this is going to start looking through that key, and voila, it has the knowledge sources there. I want to just click this Chipp template library and click add source, and then I have the source attached to this app now. So actually, I think something important and importantly wrong what happened just there. So I'm just going to show you what's just happened. So this is actually one page, which is a convention of Notion, which is going to come up. So sometimes when you connect a page to the key, it's just going to get that one, the page level. But what's annoying is actually you can open a whole database as its own page. So you see this little toggle that says open as full page. And if I'm moving too fast, someone just shout. I cannot see you, unfortunately. So this is now the database opened up as its own page. And I'm just going to connect this now specifically to the how to. Oh, that is connected to the how to sell AI 5 course. Okay. So why are you not pulling over? That is the question. Maybe we want to find it again. But there's a little convention here with Notion that the databases can be pages and pages can be databases. So this might cause some confusion. Cool. So now we all know how to connect the different databases to Chipp, or pages to Chipp. Do we all want to have a go? How often is knowledge source refreshed? What is the trigger for refresh? Yes.
Yeah.
Scott, did we get this in? The ability to refresh it over time?
Oh, you can already. Yeah, I'll show this if you want, or you can too. But
yeah, I could put it. So a great question, Dalian. In the our sources page, I'm going to go back to Chipp here. Boop, boop, boop. And under profile and then sources, there should be a new source type, which is Notion. So for all the knowledge sources, Dalian, there's the ability to refresh how frequently it's going to check and repull that. Here we go. So for the file type of Notion, I'm going to grab that. So now this is showing me all the Notion pages I've added as knowledge sources, and I can choose the refresh interval. So that can be daily, weekly, or monthly. Does that make sense?
It's really cool. Actually, it will be a little bit not straight finding this place, and thank you for sharing, because it's a kind of...
It's hidden a little bit, yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit hidden. And one question, you mentioned that it is refreshing all types. So I saw that there is a Google Sheet. So Google Sheet is not imported, but it is working the same way like Notion. So it is a connection, and it will be also visible here in sources. And if I press it to be refreshed hourly, it will be the same, right?
Yes, we don't have hourly. We have daily, weekly, and monthly.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so the spreadsheet is here. If you had a Google spreadsheet, then that's there. And yeah, you can.
We actually built that, Serge. I can jump in. So with Google Sheet, we actually build it to be daily by default. So you don't even have to touch the Google Sheet one, because people were having issues with not knowing where it was. So that one by default is updated daily. So you don't even have to do anything for Google Sheet.
Okay, but yeah, this is great. Great. Thanks for sharing.
Cool. Perfect. Well then, yeah, we should definitely work on making that more visible to you guys, to set the refresh rate, maybe in that flow as well. But now you know that it's all set up. You can set that all from there. Fab. Yeah, dynamic knowledge sources are the way forward. Being able to refresh that and not have to keep updating it. You get so many cool little tutor use cases that come up as well. That knowledge is always coming up.
And on the refreshing one, so we can schedule it daily, weekly,
monthly,
and I missed to see, can we push it to happen right now? I mean,
I think the way to do that would be re-upload the knowledge source right now, Scott. But we should definitely have a force button that allows you just to go and manually do that. We don't have that yet.
Okay.
But great point. Yeah. Cool. Nice one, guys. Well, what might be fun is maybe just spending 5-10 minutes of build time of connecting your your Notion so we can troubleshoot together. I'll just set a timer. Has everyone got a Notion account? That's the question. If not, then we can. Yeah, we all want to play with Notion right now. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, then I can set some music in the background for maybe an 8-minute timer. Have a go at connecting it, and then just send me questions as you find anything that blocks you from connecting Notion and Chipp. Let's get Wolf back on. And if you want help brainstorming a use case, then I'm still here. Cool. 7-minute timer set. Anyone need any help setting up or coming up with an idea? Just let me know. Thanks, Jill. So something I did notice is when I uploaded more than 30 files, it does struggle a little bit just to reference, do counting across all of them. So if anyone is trying to upload a huge amount of files, it'll take a minute to load, and you might have some issues accessing, being able to count across all of them. And there's a limit, as Scott said, 100 at a time.
Serge.
Hey.
When I click connections, Chipp is not an option. I have something called Bardeen, Census, High Touch. Chipp isn't one of my choices there. So now what do I do?
So Chipp isn't the. Did you create the new integration yet? Would you like to screen share?
Sure.
Yeah. Dom's asking, is it Chipp Raggy? Yes, but yes. Cool. Allow. Jill, this might be relevant for you. I don't seem to be able to add a new Chipp source in Chipp. Oh. Okay, cool. So go to Manage Connections, the little gear icon there.
Manage Connections, okay.
And then click Develop or Manage Integrations. So this is the little sneaky step that we have to, that's it. And then open that window. I can't see that window on the screen share, but I assume you're in it.
It just says integrations, create a new integration, view all.
That's it. So create a new integration and then call it whatever you're gonna, something that helps you understand what it's doing in your Chipp app.
And then it says associated workspace.
Cool. And then pick your workspace that you want to pull some knowledge from. Okay, cool. Now I can see it. Then, click your associated workspace.
And so what is that? What is this? Just my Elmer's Notion? Am I click that?
Yep. That's it. I mean, click save or next, whatever the black button is there. Yeah. Black button, save.
Oh, I
Bottom
see.
right. Yeah. Nice. Then configure. Cool. So now go back to the specific page that you want to connect to in the rest of
This part?
yeah, I don't see it. So sorry, the specific Notion page that you want to connect to.
Oh, got it. Mm, okay, this is the page.
Nice. Then go to connections. And then in here, you'll have your lead from the middle. Just search for lead from the middle. There it is, leading from the middle.
Got it.
Cool. Confirm. So that's how you're connecting your key to a specific page. And then now go back to the previous integration page that you where you created that integration.
Previous integration page.
Yeah. Do you remember where you just typed in leading from the middle? So so let's go back to connections on the menu there.
This one?
Yeah. Hover over it and then click it again. I think I can draw on here as well. Oh yeah, amazing, cool. Yeah. So go to this guy real quick. So
Go to the where?
The 3 buttons there. I think I can draw on it. Yeah. Do you see that? Cool. Oh. Yeah. Go back to connections. Where is that? Here it is. And then let's go to manage connections. Sorry, I'm like drawing over what you need to click.
No, that's okay.
And then scroll down a second.
It was on the bottom, the last screen.
There it is. Yeah, develop or manage integrations. Sorry, yeah, that's it. Right. I mean, I can't see the page when you click that, but oh yeah, there you go. Amazing. Okay, now go into this or click it. The leading from the middle. And then we want to click show and copy.
Got it.
And that's what you're pulling across to Chipp.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Nice. That is exactly 7 minutes. Perfect timing.
And Jill had a really good question, Serge, that I hadn't thought of getting confusing, but adding a knowledge source versus sources in the top right. So maybe just show that distinction. Define the notion as under knowledge sources, not.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So
yes.
So Jill, you just went into the whole list of all of your sources, right? Gotcha. Okay, yeah, Jill. So in the builder, you've probably just found this now. In your individual apps, when you want them to reference a specific knowledge source, you click new source. That's going straight into Notion. There we go. And that allows you to either add new knowledge sources. Then what you saw was actually the list of all the saved sources. So you can access that from here, or you can go to where you went to. And this is more like maintaining your company knowledge and all the company sources. So you only go to this if you want to change the refresh rate on it, or if you want to delete these sources entirely. You can't connect them to your individual assistants from this page, but there we go. Yeah. So yeah, this is if I want to delete them or download them again, or add the refresh rate. Does that make sense, Jill? And Jeff is asking.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, it's working fine now. Thanks for clarifying that.
One's managing, one's adding. And then for Jeff, where do we paste the secret after we set up the integration? So in the actual app that you want to connect to, the music keeps jumping back on. In my specific app, I go to the new knowledge sources. Let's give it a second to load. This is great. Keep asking questions because your questions help clarify things for other people. Great. So if I go to new sources, Jeff, and I click Notion, then it's going to ask for that integration secret right there. Just send us a thumbs up in chat, Jeff. Or yeah, you said okay. You can hear you. Perfect. Nice one.
I like Dominic's question. I'd be curious, Serge's response, but the question is like when you call a tool versus adding it to your own knowledge source. So it's like a more technical distinction, but to me, like calling a tool is when there's lots of information and you won't need it every time. Whereas like add it to your knowledge source if it's always going to be used and it's not thousands and thousands of knowledge sources. I often tell people like more is not better with knowledge sources, because the more files you add, the more the AI has to go through to find an answer. So I would think about, like in Danella's case, like maybe you have a second bot, right, for a different step of the process versus trying to have one bot that does everything. That'd be the way I think about it. I don't know, Serge, what you think. But.
Yeah, for like my main distinction between tool calling and knowledge sources is that tool calling is like to take a specific action from the chat. So sometimes you want to say, write this into the Notion database, or like, or send this to HubSpot. Like those are the things that are worth putting as custom capabilities or tools. And then the knowledge sources are really just like what needs to stay persistent for a long time. Like if you need to always constantly access this like grounded body of knowledge, then that's when it's worth using a knowledge source for. Like I would not connect Notion as a knowledge source and then say, hey chat, go take the last 5 conversations we just had and then put them into Notion. Like that's what I would do as a tool call, as a custom capability. It's purely just for accessing it as a knowledge source, yeah. And Scott's making sense. Particular assistance has particular access to knowledge sources, yeah. Nice. Cool. Any other questions? Anyone's getting like still kind of scrunching their forehead at like why this is important and monumental in the evolution of Chipp?
I would just share an idea, Serge.
Please.
Like, I mean, you kind of touched on it at the very beginning, but Notion is collaborative, right? So you can have a team or a group of students or a group of professionals collaborating on a document. And now this makes Chipp incredibly collaborative for those people, right? Where you can build the tool, you can build the Chipp chat, and the knowledge is going to be updated every day based on whatever those people are doing. And so like Serge mentioned, updating people who register for a conference or something like that. Anyone who registers is going to show up on that page, and now that Chipp app is going to be able to pull those. So you could really build it, have everybody work on Notion. They don't have to touch Chipp, but the AI tool will actually work. And then also remember that like Chipp can be embedded in Notion, right? So you could actually just put Chipp right on that Notion page, which would be kind of like a way to find everything across the document potentially, or even combine that with other information. Because Notion AI, if you're paying for that, does it just on Notion, but Chipp could combine Notion with Calendly, with Google Docs, whatever. So
I think, yeah, that like in Notion use case is not something we've talked about enough, but I'll just like demo it for anyone that's does not see it. And I love this that Dom's already asking for more feature updates. But yeah, I think Scott's point's really on point. It's now collaborative. Lots of people can feed into this chatbot. There's also some crazy things we can start to do, and it's just going to like open up the realms of what's possible with Notion. One thing is that Notion have just released a bunch of features. This is an old marketing dashboard that we have, and you can see some of our old goals, the glory days. And we've got this, we're able to create forms in Notion now. So I can actually just go like register for our event in Notion and ask questions. And of course, everything in Notion, every block is its own page. So this database of all the responses that's in this form is its own page, and I can connect our integration to this form. So suddenly we've got this like world where you're connecting UI components in Notion, like forms, and then it's just channeling into your AI chatbot. So like Scott said, one of the use cases there is people fill out information, or maybe they go for a quiz. They go for your beautiful quiz that you make as a form here. And then all that information is like, you're doing data analysis using your chatbot now, because it's being fed all of the responses on here. So that's just a whole new realm of possibilities, because Notion started making all of these new features. And then there's the realm of possibilities of like, to Jeff's points, yeah, they totally like have made their own form stuff, which kills a lot of other form builders. But the other thing here is like the actual Notion AI itself is pretty cheap. Like it's like what, 10 to 12 a month. But like, let's say you didn't want to pay that, you could just go and grab your assistant here and then start embedding AI experiences inside Notion. So I'm going to delete that form quick. So like, let's say I made a team dashboard and it was just like, hey, like, what are your to-dos for today? And if you were ever confused, you could just come into your Notion dashboard and go like, what am I working on today? And it would have all of your team's tasks already beautifully laid out in your project dashboards. So you can start to embed AI experiences into Notion itself. So those are two fun creative pathways you can take, is like actually using the features in Notion and also just embedding Chipp into Notion. Does that spark anything for anyone? Has anyone got like any cool ideas? Like, yeah, Dom's going crazy.
Could I just want to say that a lot of enterprise users find Notion AI to be really expensive. So this is potentially a really
huge
cost-effective solution for them. So you can have a lot of the advantages of Notion AI, but a lot cheaper. So that's really quite cool. I'm going to tell people about this.
Do you sell Notion solutions to people?
I've actually just started working as a Notion consultant.
Amazing.
And yeah, so there's a lot of enterprise users who say, well, we can manage without Notion AI because it's just too much for us at the moment. So.
Really? Yeah, that's understandable, because it's on a per seat basis or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
and it's already expensive. Notion, the basic Notion is already expensive on a per seat basis. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's huge. Yeah, but yeah, plenty of opportunities to cut the market here on price. Lots of fun ways to embed it. Lots of new ways to get data into your Chipp apps now.
Maybe tell them about the affiliate program, Serge, for someone like Jill who's working with a lot of folks. That could be a good fit for her.
Yeah, it makes sense. So there's the so most of, where are we going? Yeah, so the affiliate program at a high level, Jill's, like, we do 30% on the first year subscription of Chipp. So like, if you sell Chipp into a company, then the first year's subscription is, you're making 30% on that. So I think that works out as like $200 something if you sell the pro plan, the team plan. So you could see that as like just a ballpark number for, if you sold that to 3 different people, it's like $600. And then we also do a certification for Chipp builders. Have you seen this before, Jill? Awesome. If you want to get Chipp certified, jump in there. Similar to Notion consultants, we like to certify Chipp consultants, and then we just give you guys a bunch of support to help build solutions for your clients. We make sure that you have like draft contracts that you can use if you want to sell like AI solutions there. And yeah, we also bring a bunch of like inbound leads who come to us. We don't know how to build everything, so we like to pass them on to our certified consultants. Yeah, cool, lovely. Well, any more questions, inspirations that we're having?
I actually I'm having a lot of different results based on the type of Notion page that I connect. So
really? What are you finding?
Figure out. For example, tables, it'll actually take each table entry and create a completely separate
right.
Yeah.
Separate page, yeah.
Separate page for each one. So that's something I didn't think about, and just I'll have to figure out.
Did you put something really big in there, and now you're figuring out?
Yeah, I've got 1,000 things to delete.
Yeah, we need a better experience around that for sure. But like, it's the way Notion calls everything a page, which kind of
right. So I'll have to learn more about Notion before I go crazy here.
No worries. Cool, Nicholas. Lovely having you here. We'll see you in a bit. But yeah, like I said, I think some of the limitations, 100 pages at a time. More pages is not better. So keep your Notion pages concise and to the point. And yeah, they can auto refresh. Sorry,
any idea how good it is at actually, or for some of the LLMs to actually refer to those? I've noticed that it's very hit or miss whether they actually refer to the sources that you give it, especially if it thinks it knows a better answer.
I know it's
Just wondering if Notion's any different.
this is it's a mix of, I think all the knowledge sources and LLMs, like that interaction is always going to be pretty sketchy. There's things we can do to improve it, and I think we're looking at that. It's mainly just having the context of like, what did I just give you, as instead of like the content.
Right.
So we're working on some ways of saying like, hey, what you got given was a Notion file, and there's like 20 of them. Like, just know this as information. But but because it doesn't just like, otherwise it's just looking at the text strings and going,
Yeah.
roughly, what is that? So that's something
I've spent most of my. I mean, I've spent most of my time. Actually, I spent the last 2 weeks on literally the nuance of, I want to have a very as consistent conversation, and to have that, it has to have a very consistent feedback. And I've noticed that even when certain instructions are working in general, there's certain topics that it just feels like it knows better than you do. So it will not, like, it just completely, like, I'm using the same string, the same instructions, won't work.
There was a database I just used, which was like recipes, but all in a consistent format. I think there was something quite good about the fact that all the pages were of like a consistent format. They had like a title, an author, and there was some other structure of like metadata that it could refer to, and it somehow got and would reliably go back to the recipe and not go off piece and just be like, oh, I'll tell you about my LLM grandmother's favorite recipe for apple pie. It was the apple pie recipe. So there's something we can probably do there with just general hygiene on the note level, on the page level. But I haven't actually figured that out, cracked that. But it's
okay, I was just wondering if there, if it was any different, because I feel like, before yesterday, I felt like I'd wasted 2 weeks, and I finally got enough forward traction that I was like, okay, I didn't exactly waste 2 weeks, but I was just going in circles, like trying all these different ways, and it just refused.
It is hit and miss. And we can do some stuff on our side, but I think Dom's got a point of trying to. There's something we could probably do around like knowledge source optimization. So maybe we'll share some tips as we find out.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Awesome, guys.
Where's the page of templates that you showed, Serge?
Oh yeah, sweet. That's always a hit. Here it is. We need to just add this as like a feature that people can get all these templates in the assistant, in the Chipp app. Yeah, and Daniel's like, yes.
And then Delian, if you want to share, I can read your question, but if you want to unmute too, you can.
Thank you. So, general question, because sometimes it's really needed that data is refreshed and we don't wait for a day to get the data. And as Serge was saying, that there is an option to bring in the user interface this refresh button that is pushing immediately. So my question is, if we want to do it a kind of automatically over API call, what is the effort that is needed on your end? Because sometimes I can be typing something in the chat, but if I have a custom capability that is making a call to your infrastructure, so it is triggering the whole refresh process, it will make quite easy and effortlessly, so you can refresh or you can get the latest data or something like this.
So if I understood that, it's like being able to trigger the refresh from the custom capability.
That's right.
So yeah, I think don't worry about building that yourself. Now you're bringing it up. It shouldn't be too hard to build this on our side. It's really just a button that forces the re-upload. So I can try and see how we can prioritize this.
So the button is one thing, but what I was saying on a custom capability, like your example, that two chips are speaking with each other, and they are connecting over GET or so something. Maybe this will be a post because it will be pushing the refresh, but if it's possible, because more or less you have created with this what is behind that is doing the refresh that is daily. So if the trigger will be something else, API call, I don't know what stays behind, but at least it will be another source of trigger.
Right. Yeah, like we don't. So the API, like currently for the between Chipp interaction, the only API function we have is to send or receive a message. So there isn't like a endpoint for you to hit that would say refresh the knowledge sources that are here. We could look at extending our API to do that. I guess we need to understand like what the value is for you, as like what that would unlock for you to make sure we could prioritize that.
So I'll give you an example how I'm using Google Sheet, because I'm doing some calculations within Google Sheet. And as Scott was saying, a daily update on Google Sheet, it will not make sense for me, because how Google Sheet is working. So if I have a template that is doing calculation, when a Google Sheet is opened, it is automatically calculated. So if I have a daily update, I mean, if I'm pushing information, let's say a credit score evaluation or something like this, it will not work. Okay. So what I'm doing it over make.com. So make.com is doing all the heavy lifting. Chipp is pushing to make.com. Make.com is opening it, doing the recalculation, and after that, giving back over webhook the information.
Okay.
This is my use case, but my preferences overall are that I don't have so many middlemen, because make.com is a middleman in the whole.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so we want to be able to like manually trigger the refresh. The get of the Google Sheet from within
Google
your
Sheet,
chat.
I was also trying this is something, or I mean, the same approach will be for all data sources if it makes sense for the broader population. But at least this is how
I could see that would be cool to have like a default action that you could say is like, when you're typing, say like, oh, it looks like your data is old, just / refresh it yourself, and refreshes everything.
Created something similar, that is this API, when a chat starts, it is refreshed on chat start, right?
Yes, yeah, it must be refreshing on chat start, yeah.
And you have such a capability or
function
data source. It's a data source or knowledge source.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of mix between things.
Yeah, I can see that. So we just need to expose that, what we do on the chat start, for you in a quicker way, like during the chat.
It depends, because it can have a latency with an Notion database if it's huge.
Makes sense. We could
definitely. I believe you're taking the data and putting it in a vector store, so it takes time.
It won't just happen like that. That's true.
It will not happen like that.
Yeah. But we could. I think Dom's right. Like there's certain like ways that we can make refreshing, like the API route in, and all the other knowledge sources, that we just get them refreshed quicker for you guys. That makes sense.
Serge and the rest.
Alfredo.
I wanted, just because it's really something I found yesterday, and it has a lot of things similar. I would say Chipp has broader perspective on this, but can I share my screen?
Sure.
Let me find how this. Okay, this is.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I don't know who has used this. It is get unblocked. It was somehow advertised, but what it is doing, that you're having different data sources. What is the benefit here? And again, this notion that I saw here again yesterday ring the bell. What is possible? You have Google Drive. You have GitHub. This is if you are doing code development, and this is again something like the pages that you are having. And this is mostly coding scope.
Yeah, it's
of
very
people to
developer related, isn't it?
Yeah, because you have documentation, Jira, and stuff like this.
Sure.
But the interesting part is that, I mean, this becomes a source, and you can interact with all data sources at the same time.
Mhm.
You have something similar, not the same user interface, so a person can do this
Yeah.
front end.
So that's all of those. The only difference is the different types of knowledge data sources that are available. And if we don't have the data sources, then we also have the API in method. So you can connect it to anything that you want that has an API.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to share because here GitHub is interesting.
Yeah, definitely
because
interesting using GitHub.
when you have repository and when you have several people working with one and the same code, it can become a mess.
Right.
And you need to organize it somehow.
Dominic's asking if you can go back to the list of data sources, Delian.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's nothing
These are the data sources that I have created.
I see.
And when you create
a new source, yeah, it's very developer focused, isn't it? So if you scroll down, it's then
this was exactly because the video that I've watched, that what kind of software packages we're using or what kind of libraries for certain project we're using, and it's giving the answers. And again, the good thing, I'm not sure that I've managed to do this in Chipp, that it is doing a reference to the source document. So if I'm asking, for example,
will it hyperlink to the source document?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and as you are connected, what are my projects in Notion?
That's a great idea, and I've just added it as a ticket for us to work on.
Yeah, and actually, it's quite. For example, if you are working on Copilot Studio, and which are one of the main things that Microsoft is selling it as a kind of more corporate stuff, is that you have a reference to the source document. So you're decreasing the hallucination, a kind of.
Yeah.
Because the references, my projects, my podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
And it is directly jumping to, okay, it's not available here on this computer, but
yes,
you see
I see what you're doing. Totally, I love that. That's definitely the next step we'll take.
And you can play. So I'm not getting anything from this, but you have 21 days free trial on this, just for inspiration.
Nice one. Thank you so much. Yeah, and great idea to add like more accuracy to the responses, right? So definitely adding that source.
And this is across the board. I mean, it's not only Notion or whatever. When you have a data source, you can say, here you can check what stays behind.
Totally. That's so spot on. Yeah, we just need to keep decreasing the amount of hallucination. But yeah, I hope this has unlocked some stuff for you guys, and we're at time. Any last thoughts or feelings? Maybe just send in chat like how we're all feeling at the end of the session, inspired.
Could I just ask another question?
Go for it, Jeff.
In terms of like a company wiki or something, which is a popular use case for Notion builds, 100 pages is not that big,
right?
So is there a way that, because you could have a filtered view of a database, is there a way that you can keep Chipp to a specific filtered selection of pages, or would you have to go in and connect each one separately?
So I'll be more technically specific. It's 100 pages per limit per call. So it's actually like a rate limit on Notions, so you don't just keep pulling everything all the time. So if you do batches of 100 pages, you could probably get a good chunk of the database in there. But there's nothing on the Chipp side which would say that you would like have a limit of knowledge of pages. It's really just on the Notion like rate limiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay, well, I'll definitely play around with this. And
Let me know how the knowledge wiki stuff goes, because I'd love to see how accurate it is across like large contexts. Like
Yeah.
I said, like it's really good at like very small stuff, and then let's just keep chatting about how it performs across the whole knowledge, the whole company knowledge base or something.
Sure. Thank you.
Cool. Amazing. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. And yeah, thanks for joining. And I'll catch you guys in Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I'm adding a link to there for anyone who's not in the community. This is where we're the most active, highest feedback. It's where you can shout at us and ask for new features, fixing bugs for you. Jump in there and say hi. But it's a pleasure seeing you all. All right. Awesome. Ciao. Enjoy the rest of the evening or day.